Armed with fearsome karate capabilities, bubble-blowing expertise, and his trusty hydrodynamic spatula with port and starboard attachments, SpongeBob has all the tools you'll need to thrive in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. SpongeBob is an all-rounder type character with a straightforward moveset perfect for beginners, or even experienced players who just like to make the most out of simple tools. His light up and down attacks are great for launching and juggling opponents until it's time to start using his aerials. Most noteworthy of his aerials are his up air, which has a wide arc and pops opponents upwards, and his forward air, which has a powerful spiking sweet spot. Once you're ready to end your combo, his side and up charged air attacks are great choices at high percents. On the subject of charged attacks, it's quickly worth mentioning that every character has 3 on the ground and 3 in the air. SpongeBob has relatively short range and isn't the fastest character by any means, so he mostly has to rely on his neutral special, Bubble Blow, to take control of the stage and find an opening. His side special, Fishbowl Strike, can also be a solid approach option thanks to its surprising speed and an ability to absorb a small amount of damage before getting knocked out of the attack. Additionally, Fishbowl Strike can be used as a recovery tool to get a little bit closer to the stage before using his up special. This move does a good job of covering SpongeBob's head while it's out, but keep in mind you can only grab the ledge towards the end, so don't aim too high. In the event that your aim is slightly off, maybe try spending some of your slime meter to cancel the move and air dodge to safety. Or better yet, if you're craving something a little more advanced, try canceling the move offensively into an air strong. Or even better yet, cancel it into his down special, Chef Flip, and combo that into a finisher. If you land a hit with Chef Flip, you can cancel the move immediately by jumping for those fancy looking combo extensions. And as a nice bonus, it can also redirect projectiles. If you're just looking for a place to find your sea legs, SpongeBob is a great place to start. Once you get comfortable with the game's mechanics and SpongeBob's own tools, see where your imagination leads you. Everyone's favorite neighbor, Squidward Tentacles, is the first character new to the Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 cast that we'll be covering in this series of character spotlights. With unique movement options available at his disposal, vein-popping anger that can be channeled into a huge speed boost and damage buff, as well as plenty of artistic talent, Squidward is here to show that he too can tussle with the best. First, let's quickly cover Squidward's basic moveset. Squidward's light up attack is a bit low range, but it is also equipped with some invincibility, making it a great anti-air that can also start combos. Downlight, likewise, is on the short side, but it's also an incredibly powerful spike, so you better give Squidward the respect he deserves. As for his grounded charge attacks, you might be able to recognize each of these from some memorable moments in SpongeBob between some lovely dance moves, a delicious Krusty Krab pizza, and of course, Krakatoa! Squidward's light aerials are integral parts of his combo game, and his light forward and up aerials are both multi-hit attacks that can be used to drag opponents down to extend your punishes. His down air is a spike, and besides being a beautiful display of artistry in the form of movement and rhythm, his neutral air also boasts plenty of range which can help him assert dominance in the air. In case you didn't notice earlier, Squidward is in fact capable of performing double jump cancels. If you perform an aerial within the first few frames of performing a double jump, Squidward will accelerate back towards the ground immediately, allowing him to do attacks closer to the ground and even quickly change directions if you hold left or right. Squidward's down special allows him to channel his blind anger into something a little more helpful. After leaving himself vulnerable for a few seconds, Squidward's speed and damage output are increased dramatically, making it easier to find an opening or secure a knockout. And those combos that you saw earlier naturally become far more devastating. Squiddy's other specials include his clarinet, which fires a projectile that gets stronger the longer you hold the button, and his side special, Artistic Genius, which pulls a random painting from his portfolio. Different paintings have different strengths. There's also, of course, his up special. Squidward hops on his bike, which immediately explodes and sends him flying. That's all we'll show for Squidward this time around, so make sure to give him a try and see if you're bold or brash enough to make his talents shine. Jimmy Neutron, the boy genius, makes his way into Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 as a defensive zoner wielding all sorts of fantastic inventions, including his secret watch laser, an all-purpose toaster, the super bubblegum mobile, intelligent purple flurp rocket launcher, and many more. Jimmy's most noteworthy invention is, of course, his beloved robot companion, Goddard, who can be summoned with down special, and once active, can be controlled by again pressing down special. If you choose to let him keep running, he'll explode on contact with the opponent. Goddard will be destroyed after taking a bit of damage, so try to keep him close. Goddard can fly around with the control stick, shoot lasers with the charge attack button, chomp with the regular attack button, and even be dropped on enemies' heads by holding down and again pressing the regular attack button. Just be careful to remember that while you're controlling Goddard, Jimmy himself will be stationary and vulnerable, but all you have to do to switch back is again press the special button. You'll also immediately be forced back to Jimmy if he starts taking damage. As for his other gadgets, Jimmy's neutral B is a rocket launcher that lets you pre-program a series of inputs into the rocket's trajectory, meaning whichever directions you press while charging the rocket, that's the direction the rocket will travel. If all that neuron activation is too complicated for you, don't worry, Jimmy has plenty of fancy tricks without Goddard. His disjointed attacks, like his grounded light forward and aerial light forward, are fantastic for slapping opponents away. And the Super Bubblegum Mobile covers his entire body with an active hitbox, making it a very difficult attack to challenge and a great one to throw out if you get overwhelmed or have trouble landing. To touch on one of Jimmy's weaknesses, his recovery is rather average, being pretty slow and vulnerable overall since the up special doesn't have a hitbox. If you have your jump, however, you can use that during the up special and then up special again if you'd like. And don't forget, you can always slime cancel to get out early, or use Goddard as a way to provide cover. This all only scratches the surface of what might be possible with Jimmy, so it's up to you to hop in the lab, run some experiments, and show off all the tech that you've discovered. Everybody's favorite pink starfish is back and ready to throw down. In today's character spotlight, we'll be going over none other than Patrick Star. Patrick is a pretty traditional grappler, all things considered. Slow, heavy, and mostly limited in range, but once he gets his hands on you, you're in for a world of hurt. Patrick boasts some of the most powerful throws and strong attacks in the game, and his side special Hug Driver will have you thinking twice about hiding behind your block. To help him get past projectiles, disjoints, and those notorious platform campers, Patrick's Light Up Air Table Flip is a versatile tool that covers a generous amount of space and can force people back to the ground. His down special, Counter Slam, also does what you'd expect from the name. He counters an attack and slams his opponents. If you do it with a bit of a running start and jump into the air, you can also take advantage of the projectiles your opponent leaves around the field to get a nice burst of speed to close the gap between you. Patrick's other specials include his Double Lariat, which is a fantastic get off me attack that is also much larger and gains armor when enhanced with slime. The aforementioned Hug Driver also is granted armor through the slime version. Patrick's Up special will grab opponents as he's traveling, but besides that, he's completely vulnerable and doesn't go super far. Altogether, his recovery is unfortunately a bit lackluster, so you might find yourself spending a bit of meter for an air dodge or enhanced up special. Each of Patrick's strong attacks packs a serious punch, and many of them include additional special properties. For example, his charged up air, Star Spin, gives him a small vertical boost which can help his otherwise weak recovery. His charged down air is a powerful spike that also grabs the ledge, preventing you from overshooting, while his grounded down attack, Steel Buns, is a powerful counterattack where Patrick leaps into the air and comes crashing down on his opponents. He leaps high enough to dodge some attacks and grabs, and even lands on top of platforms. Being a grappler means playing slow, careful, and knowing how to get inside your opponent's head. Maybe things that Patrick himself isn't the best at doing. Nevertheless, he has all the tools necessary to make that game plan effective. If you have the brains to compensate for Patrick's lack thereof, or just want to swing and hit hard and not worry too much about combos or execution, definitely give him a try.
Hello everyone, this is Ignacio Rodriguez from Fair Play Labs. Today, we'll be covering the most fiery and aggressive of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Raphael. If any of those adjectives describe you, then Raphael is probably the character for you. Raphael is the fastest character in the game, which is perfect for that in-your-face, full-throttle style that he's known for. His fast, low-commitment attacks are excellent for weaving in and out of danger, or simply brute-forcing an opening. But beware, being one of the lightest characters in the game is a recipe for disaster if your opponent can catch you. One of Raph's most important tools is his neutral special, Shuriken. You don't always have to throw yourself at the opponent when you have a projectile, and Shuriken is a great one to complement Raphael's aggression. He throws it slightly downwards, which is great when applying pressure at the ledge, extending combos, or hopping around slightly above your opponent's head looking for an opening. Raph's down special is a forward flip that will grab whichever opponent first gets in his way, and if you press the special again, he'll transition into a kick. You also have the option of jumping out of the attack as well. This move, in addition to his side special, Power Drill, makes for excellent horizontal movement options. His sub-special is a quick flip that ends with a powerful kick. It's a great move to use as a shield or to chase your opponents into the sky. Raphael's moves are generally super quick, with a decent amount of range thanks to his weapons of choice. Dual side. His light down attack is great for poking at your opponent. If you hold down the attack button, it'll send them upwards, and if you quickly tap it instead, you'll send them at a shadow angle away from you. Quick reflexes and even quicker thinking are key to taking control of this fearsome turtle. You'll need to be able to react on the fly to your opponent's options, and make good use of each of his tools to maximize his combo game. If running around at breakneck speed is your style, then pick up Raphael and hit the dojo.
The arch nemesis of the Krusty Krab, Plankton, joins the fray in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 as the pilot of a much bigger, much more threatening mech suit. Mecha Plankton is a super heavyweight zoner grappler, meaning he's best at a distance where he's lobbing projectiles and pressuring you from afar, or right up in your face where he's grabbing and tossing you for some serious damage. Mecha Plankton is the biggest character in the game and also a little bit slow, so he can easily become overwhelmed by opponents who have a strong offense. At least that would be the case if it weren't for his sauce. In addition to simply dealing damage, the sauce also temporarily slows down opponents and reduces how much they can DI out of combos. While he's firing, he can cancel the movement to block, jump, or grab, making it much easier to either keep your distance until you can level the playing field, or to take care of opponents who try to disrespect his sauce. If you hold the attack button while firing in the air, you can also float for a short duration. Additionally, the slime version of this move fires a huge, sudden blast of sauce that can knock opponents away. To help cover the mid-range, Plankton's mech suit is armed with a net cannon, giving him the farthest reaching grab in the game. His forward throw applies a fire effect that does damage over time, while his up, down, and back throws can be used to set up for combos, or send you tumbling if you get snatched too close to the ledge. Besides just being as powerful as you'd expect from a heavyweight, most of Mecha Plankton's charged attacks also have a unique twist. For his aerial charged attacks, the up attack applies sauce, the horizontal attack can be used as a recovery tool or sudden burst option, while the down attack allows Plankton to hover, and can of course spike opponents. Plankton's grounded charge moves include his up attack, the chain grab, which is yet another long-range grab in his toolkit that can be angled while charging. His down attack, chump stomp, sends a shockwave that can be a fantastic ledge trapping tool, and his horizontal charge attack is, well, a big laser. His side special is a fast, short-ranged command grab that can ring out opponents at high percent, or just be used to build up some damage. Up special has a decent amount of height behind it, and if you press the special button again, he claps his hands together for an explosive surprise. Down special lobs a bucket of chum that poisons enemies on contact, and if it misses, it'll instead leave behind a cloud of gas that deals damage to opponents standing inside of it. Want to try your hand at piloting Mecha Plankton to victory? Take him for a test drive in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, and stay tuned as we go over the rest of the cast and future character spotlights. Manuel Pablo Gutierrez O'Brien Ikiwa Rivera's alter ego, El Tigre, makes his grand debut in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. El Tigre is a fast, glass cannon rushdown style fighter with an overwhelming offense. His neutral special, Rugido, is a lightning quick short range attack that can instantly be cancelled with a jump. This move pops opponents up for an opportunity to let your combo creativity shine, and it can also be used to apply some safe pressure when you land on an opponent with an aerial. Altogether, this move is the key to unlocking El Tigre's potential. El Tigre's other specials include El Gancho, a medium-range hit grab that leaves opponents in a perfect position for a follow-up, Ilusión, a short dash that can aid his recovery and be used to apply some pressure from the air, and Destello, his up special, which is an extremely quick dash that can be pointed in any direction. This move is a fantastic way to end combos, and when combined with a slime cancel, you can use it to chase opponents nearly anywhere. El Tigre's light up and down attacks are each great for extending or starting combos, and his light forward attack is simply a convenient way to knock opponents off stage. His light aerials are all built for starting and continuing some devastating, exciting combos. Here are some examples of what you can do once you put them all together. Each of El Tigre's grounded charge attacks are fast, short-range, slashing combo finishers. His charged up attack is most powerful if you're able to hit opponents directly above him, and his light down attack is a perfect way to set up into it. As for his charged aerials, the up attack is a short dash that, depending on the situation, can be a fantastic setup into his up special. His down attack is a powerful dive kick that can be used in all sorts of situations, in offense and on defense, and his horizontal charge attack is a multi-hit that's generally his best tool for keeping opponents off stage. If flashy combos and speed are your style, then harness the power of the ancient tiger spirit with El Tigre in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Enjoy the following footage of El Tigre in action, and stay tuned for more character spotlights. Investigative reporter April O'Neil is back on the scene here in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Similar to Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 1, April is a glass cannon brawler with a meter mechanic called ratings that you build up by using her camera and microphone based attacks. Once you've built up some ratings, you can unleash a powerful attack with her neutral special. The higher your ratings, the higher the knockback. April's equipment receives an upgrade in her latest appearance. Her side special drops a camera which can now be kicked around to hit opponents, and her aerial and grounded charge forward attacks both have greater power near the tip. Her new down special is a quick flip that drags opponents along with her, making it perfect for getting out of tight situations or extending combos. Her up special is still a fantastic recovery tool. You can fly around and cancel the move at any point with whatever you want. You just have to be careful not to run out of fuel. You won't get any back until you touch the stage, and just grabbing the ledge doesn't count. Some of April's light attacks are a bit different this time around. Up air is a great multi-hitting combo and juggle tool, and her grounded down light now leads into a camera flash if you choose to press the attack button again. Her new forward and back air are also great for combos. Try using the first hit of her back air to combo into grab, and use up throw to get a proper combo going. Here's a quick look at each of her attacks on the ground. And each of her attacks in the air. Lightweight and quick on her feet, April O'Neil is ready to report wherever the action takes her. If you're up to the fast-paced and often demanding journalist lifestyle, then April is definitely the character for you. Explore what other new tricks she's picked up since the last time we saw her in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. It's time for Donatello, the brainiac of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, to show off his skills in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. With some of the longest ranged attacks in the game thanks to his bow staff, Donatello is best suited for someone who either likes to play at a distance or outsmart their opponents with the tools and trickery of a ninja. Donatello's side special, Smoke Bomb, lays down a shroud that Donatello can teleport to from just about anywhere. Tap or hold the button to adjust how far you want to throw it, and then press side special again to teleport. If you press the jump button, you can cancel the returning animation for some deceptive ninja-like movement. Since Donatello's up special doesn't go very far if you don't spend some slime to enhance it, the Smoke Bomb and his air down strong dive kick are vital for finding your way back to the stage. Compared to some other members of the cast, Donatello is a bit slow, which means there might be times where you'll get overwhelmed by your opponent's pressure. If that's the case and the Smoke Bomb isn't doing the job, you can also try relying on his down special, which will deliver a counterattack to your opponent if timed properly. As for his neutral special, Donatello tosses up his Electro Grenade, which can be hit and juggled with any of Donatello's own attacks. You can also simply press neutral special again to swing at the grenade, or even reflect other projectiles. The Electro Grenade is actually Donatello's most complex and versatile tool. You can use it off stage for edge guards, do a B reverse for some fancy movement, lob it in the air to apply some pressure while you try to find an opening, or just throw out a bunch of them by enhancing the attack with slime and hope you hit something. The choice is yours. With his deep bag of tricks and unique moveset, Donatello is one of the more advanced characters just begging to be explored. Enjoy some of the following footage to get some ideas for how to tap into his potential, and when you're ready, hop in the dojo and try out some of these tricks yourself. As always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more character spotlights coming soon. Avatar Aang is back and ready for his return to Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, with a fresh new moveset and design totally fit for an airbending master. With some returning movement options like his air scooter and glider, as well as the addition of another jump, Aang has excellent movement capabilities and fantastic combo potential. As the avatar and master of all four elements, Aang naturally has other abilities at his disposal besides just airbending. His side special pushes enemies back and lights them on fire, which does damage over time, and his neutral special, Ice Shards, is a chargeable attack where, if in the air, he'll throw the shards diagonally, and if on the ground, they'll be tossed straight ahead. His grounded and aerial down charge attacks are both devastating earthbending techniques. In addition to the powerful pillars of stone that erupt from the ground after landing with the aerial version, Aang can also spike opponents should you find the precise timing and spacing necessary with his staff. Now let's take a quick look at Aang's light normal attacks. Here's his light up air, down air, back air, forward air, and of course neutral air. And now his grounded light down, forward and up attacks. As you might have noticed, these are all entirely new moves from Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 1, and by extension that means there's a lot of new possibilities to explore. Altogether, Aang has a very versatile moveset and can go way off stage to apply pressure and still make it back safely. His neutral game revolves around slipping and sliding with deceptive, elegant movements and generally defensive play. As you'd expect, his presence in the air is very powerful, both in his ability to weave around a fight and to combo opponents. While he does have an excellent recovery, especially now that he can air dodge out of his up special, he's also one of the lightest characters in the game, which makes him much easier to knock out. If you love having lots of unique movement and combo options, maybe Aang is the avatar for you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more character spotlights.
Howdy everyone, this is Coney, and today we'll be looking at Ren and Stimpy, who have once again joined forces to throw down in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Ren and Stimpy's moveset and design has been completely refreshed since they last joined us in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 1, with a new focus on controlling space and playing defensively with their high air mobility, slow projectile, and solid range. Some of their aerial attacks have surprising speed and size, so just as you think you can attack them for hitting your block or for missing an attack in front of you, they can drift away right back to safety, potentially turning the situation in their favor. Their neutral special, Log, is a great complement to their defensive style. The Log bounces off of opponents and can be thrown in 3 different directions based on how you hold the control stick after pressing the special button. Up lobs the Log high into the air, down is a shallow toss that stays close to the ground, and neutral/horizontal is somewhere in between. The slime version of this move can't be angled, but the Log is much, much bigger. As for their other special attacks, their side special, Beep Beep, is a card that can be a great way to escape any precarious-looking situation or return to the stage. Next up, their down special, First Fart, is a counter that builds up a meter which keeps track of how much damage they've blocked. If you press the special button again during the move, the meter is expended through a powerful blast of gas. Finally, for their up special, Stimpy hits the big red button on the History Eraser, a massive explosion that sends them flying upwards. While Ren and Stimpy don't necessarily have the best speed or power, they have plenty of ways to get themselves out of danger and create chaos on the battlefield. Also, in case you haven't noticed, during some moves like their light down or forward attacks, both Ren and Stimpy are capable of hitting their opponents with different knockback angles and power. In general, during these types of attacks, Ren will knock opponents away a bit harder, while Stimpy keeps opponents closer and positions them better for combos. If you're a fan of a more defensive style of play, then Ren and Stimpy are the pair for you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more character spotlights, and let us know who you're most excited to play in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2.
With plenty of fascinating new discoveries to observe and study, family man and wilderness explorer Nigel Thornberry makes his return to Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Nigel has had plenty of time to refine old techniques and find new inspirations in his recent exploration of the animal kingdom, boasting an even broader repertoire of animalistic abilities than ever before. After doing some extensive birdwatching, Nigel has perfected his avian-inspired flight. He now flaps his wings like a bird and can jump up to 4 times in the air, and his aerial charge down attack, Falcon Dive, is now much more elegant. In order to harness the power of flight, however, Nigel has become the lightest character in the game, but that won't stop him from delivering some powerful hits. Let's cover Nigel's special moves, beginning with his explosive down special, Smashing! With a simple snap of his fingers, Nigel can send opponents flying. This move is very fast and very strong, but also quite small, and Nigel can't help but contain his laughter whether or not the move actually hits, so don't miss. His side special, Gorilla Double Punch, can be activated twice. The first hit connects for an immediate uppercut follow-up. The first hit on its own can also be a great way to extend or begin combos. Nigel's neutral special, Bull Stampede, sends him running with his horns, ready to flip an opponent into the sky. Finally, Nigel's up special, Whale Crash, is a short vertical boost that can hopefully get you back onto the stage in case you've already used your 4-dumps when trying to recover. Now, let's take a quick peek at each of Nigel's other attacks, beginning with the charge attacks. Here's aerial up, horizontal, and down attacks, and each of the corresponding grounded attacks. Next, here's each of his aerial light attacks, including neutral air, up air, back air, forward air, and down air. And each grounded attack, including his jab, up light, forward light, and down light, which applies a poison effect that deals damage over time if you connect with the tip of his foot. Do you consider yourself a nature lover? Well, consider turning that love into some powerful fighting techniques with Nigel Thornberry in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Thanks for watching, and stick around for more character spotlights coming very soon.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Nick C., competitive platform fighting game enjoyer and Hey Arnold superfan. I'm here to walk you through all the info on the eccentric, all-powerful, battle-ready black belt, Grandma Gertie, in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. You heard that right. Arnold's beloved grandmother, Gertrude Shortman, may seem old and frail to the untrained eye, but do not be mistaken. She's fast, she hits hard, and she's completely capable of dealing massive damage with a wacky moveset full of surprises and fearsome martial arts techniques. The first of such techniques is her neutral special, Calamity Strike. This move is a powerful uppercut that can be charged up and stored while you wait for the right moment to release it. Her side special, Blitz, is a quick dash that can intercept your enemy's movements and send them flying. As for the surprises in her moveset, her down special, Christmas Gift, is a surprise for all parties involved. When used, she reaches into her purse and pulls out a random object that could be anything, from a fly swatter to a pile of tacks, a wrecking ball, or even a piano? Finally, Gertie's up special is a grappling hook that allows her to tether straight to the ledge. Grandma Gertie has all sorts of strange tricks up her sleeve that are worth exploring. Being so fast makes it easy to chase your opponents down or run away throwing random items until something works out. The choice is up to you. Her up and down throws are a great way to get a combo going or set up tech chase scenarios at low percents. Her up air is good for juggling opponents to build a percent so that you can knock them out with one of her many powerful finishers. For example, her grounded forward and up charge attacks are great choices, and they both utilize a massive halberd, which provides a lot of unexpected range. Hopping in the fray, doing some scrapping, and then hopping back out to continue throwing random items is a solid general game plan with Gertie. Do you think you have what it takes to harness Grandma Gertie's power? There's only one way to find out, and that's by giving her a try in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Stay tuned for more character spotlights, and as always, thank you for watching.
Hey everyone! My name is Thaddeus Cruz from the Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 development team. Did you miss me? The lazy orange superstar, Garfield, is ready to show off all the new tricks he's learned for his appearance in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Garfield is an all-rounder with slightly below average speed. However, any food-based attacks, such as his side special, Pie Throw, will drop sweets on the ground that Garfield can pick up to fill his new food meter. When Garfield presses down special with a bit of meter built up, the lethargic feline goes into Sugar Rush! When he's in this state of the zoomies, Garfield runs, jumps, and falls a whole lot faster. The meter can be consumed at any time, but the more of it you have before activating, the longer the Sugar Rush will last. If you're having trouble building up that food meter, or just need a quick boost, the slime version of the move also fills up meter about halfway before activating. Before we move on to Garfield's other attacks, there's a few more extra details to mention about his special moves. Garfield's side special throws out 3 different types of pies in a set pattern. The first pie knocks opponents away, the second pie pops them up, and the third pulls them in. The slime version of the move also throws out a much bigger pie that goes through opponents. Normally, Garfield's up special is pretty short, but it's very fast and hard to intercept, especially since he can still act out of the attack after falling a bit. If Garfield has a Sugar Rush going, the move also goes quite a bit higher. And if you want to bring out Garfield's old school shine, try out his neutral special, which reflects projectiles and can be instantly cancelled with a jump. This move allows for some crazy combo extensions and surprisingly fast-paced pressure when combined with his light attacks. Garfield's greatest strengths are his combo game and overall versatility. He has a moveset that can answer just about any matchup as long as you know how to piece it together. However, where Garfield struggles is his susceptibility to being outranged, especially when he doesn't have any sugar to keep him hyped up and mobile. Garfield's strong attacks have some great power behind them, and are all fantastic ways to end out his combos. His charged down air may look a lot like his light down air, but don't be fooled. The light version hits opponents multiple times and pops them up at the end, while the charged version is a powerful spike. Think you have what it takes to keep this lazy cat fed and ready for action? Then try your hand at Garfield and see if you can satisfy his appetite in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2.
Hi everyone, it's Jacob Alfred, and who's ready to rock out in the afterlife with Ember McLean, the newest representative of the Danny Phantom universe, joining us in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Ember is an all-rounder with solid range thanks to an array of far-reaching ghastly guitar and macabre music-based attacks. Anytime you land a hit with one of those attacks, Ember's unique cheer meter will fill up slightly, and once full, each of her special moves gain some additional power. With that being mentioned, it makes sense to go over what each of those special attacks are. For her up special, Ember rides her guitar into the sky, dragging opponents with her until the final finishing hits. Her side special, Arpeggio, has 4 total hits, but can be cancelled at any time. When her cheer meter is full, this move will instead release a powerful blast all at once. Then there's Ghost Power Chord, her neutral special, which is a great projectile to throw out in hopes of starting a combo simply by controlling some space. The slime version of this move is much larger, while the cheer version moves faster and hits harder. Finally, Ember's down special, Jam Sessions. This move stuns opponents with her hypnotic tunes. This is a great way to set up into one of her powerful strong attacks of hits. The extra range and bag of tricks Ember gets from her musical skills and assets allows her to play at a slightly farther range than most characters. And the spike at the tip of her forward air is a nice reward for being consistent with your spacing. She has a strong, consistent combo game on top of that as well. Her light up air is a fantastic combo starter and juggle tool. And with good use of slime canceling and slime dashing, Ember can pump out posthumous hit after hit. Other moves in Ember's kit with some interesting properties include her charged aerial up attack, which has a stronger finisher and ends earlier if you press the attack button again, and her aerial charged down attack, September Rain, launches a powerful ghostly rip. Altogether, Ember has an easy to understand game plan and strong tools for just about any matchup. If you love satisfying rhythmic combos and that feeling you get when you space your attacks just right, then definitely try out Ember in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more character spotlights.
The young ghost-hunting, ghost-hybrid Danny Phantom joins the battle once again in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, possessing familiar and all-new spectral spectacles of fighting abilities. Danny is a hard-hitting glass cannon equipped with many of the powers and techniques he's learned from his scuffles with evil ghostly villains, including icy cryokinetic attacks, ectoplasmic beams, intangibility, and of course, Ghostly Wheel. Danny's airborne agility is second to none with teleportation through his up special, Ghostly Leap, and a unique ability to cancel his backwards aerial attack into any move that he wants for a burst of speed. Danny's mobility of course comes at a cost, and that's being very liked. If you can get past that, however, you'll find that Danny thrives at finding openings and keeping the tempo high in almost any matchup. Ghostly Leap is one of Danny's primary movement and recovery tools. It's very fast, and if you precisely aim the teleport so that you slide off a ledge, you can perform some incredible movement. Both the slime version and the regular version coupled with a slime cancel can be a great way to chase or finish off opponents that have been sent tumbling by a previous attack. What would a ghost be without the ability to phase through objects and living beings? Danny's side special, Going Ghost, allows him to do just that. Danny becomes intangible while he travels forward, going through enemy attacks and projectiles as if they didn't exist. If the special button is pressed again, Danny comes out of this intangible state to deliver an uppercut. And if that hit lands, the special button can be pressed again for a follow-up. Danny's neutral special, Phantasmal Bolt, is a simple projectile that travels forward to control some space. It moves pretty fast and is generally a good way to find an opening from afar. Lastly, Heads Up, his Darn special, throws opponents for a loop by tossing them into the sky. This move mostly just causes a bit of chaos. And if you catch an opponent off guard or cause them to panic, then that should be easy pickings for some damage or a finishing blow. Danny's light attacks are quite quick and allows for some big combos, while his charged attacks are a mix of surprising mobility, range, and strength. As exciting as all his movement options and power may be, keep in mind that Danny is a glass cannon. So while he often can set the pace and approach with ease, one bad move can spell disaster for this phantasmic fighter. Nevertheless, if you enjoy that kind of style and love bringing the action instead of waiting for it, Danny Phantom is the character for you. Enjoy some footage of Danny in action, and as always, thanks for watching. And stay tuned for more character spotlights coming soon.
Hey everyone, Jake Steinberg, Game Explain editor and frequent sore loser in Platform Fighters here to walk you through the rowdy, angry beaver duo from way out of town, Daggett and Norbert, because they are partnering up and combining their strength in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Daggett and Norbert have a unique ability as part of their moveset that really puts the dynamic in Dynamic Duo. Tag Out. With this move, the Beavers can swap between each other on command to take advantage of either Daggett's quick speed and potent combo game, or Norbert's superior range and strength. Simply swapping back and forth between Beavers isn't the full extent of what this duo has to offer, however. Their neutral and side specials both call in the other Beaver to offer some assistance, and you can even tag out while these attacks are active for some tricky movement and crazy combo extensions. As powerful as this ability may be, you still have to be careful. If Daggett or Norbert gets hit after they've been called in for an assist, they'll take a bit of damage and they won't be able to tag out for a few seconds. Besides tag out, each Beaver has totally different special moves and, by extension, assists. When controlling Daggett, their side special brings out Norbert to perform Mashed Potatoes Blast. This move is a bit inaccurate from afar and also can be blocked by platforms, but it's still a great way to compensate for Daggett's own lack of range. When controlling Norbert, their side special instead becomes Chainsaw Chomp. With this attack, Daggett is sent out forwards to gnaw at their opponents, dragging them with him. If this move hits and you're feeling a bit fancy, this would be a perfect time to tag out and keep the combo going. As for Daggett and Norbert's neutral specials, when playing as Daggett, Norbert gives a cheers to the New Year's and launches a beam across the screen, launching opponents upwards for a follow-up. While not as long-lasting as Mashed Potatoes Blast, this move covers a lot of space horizontally. The final assist in their moveset, Hidden Logs. The assist provides an excellent way to pressure a retreating or overly defensive opponent, and since Daggett stays out for a considerable amount of time, you're given a chance to tag out to his position after trying to find an opening. Keep in mind that this does make it easier to hit Daggett and disable their tag out ability for a short duration, and the rockets do not follow the target if they're closer than where the previous rocket landed. Essentially, the rockets won't hit an approaching target. Daggett's up special has really great horizontal reach for getting back to the stage, but if you want a little extra mobility, his charged horizontal aerial attack, Silent Wind of Doom, launches him forward with a fierce kick. Norbert's recovery is generally a bit worse despite having greater vertical reach with his up special, which also delivers a powerful lightning-fast strike to opponents right next to him. Playing solo as either Beaver is a perfectly viable option, but with all of the trickery available through their assists and tagging out mid-combo, you'll definitely see moments where it pays off to learn how to play both of them. If Daggett's mobility isn't enough to be the difference maker, you might want to rely on Norbert and his golf club to keep opponents out or to control space with Hidden Logs. If you are up for the challenge of playing two characters at once and want to try out a unique assist-based fighter, then the Angry Beavers, Daggett and Norbert, are waiting for you in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2.
The coolest kid on the block, Gerald from Hey Arnold, makes his debut in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Gerald's a tricky mid-range zoner that isn't afraid to get up close and personal. This sports fan excels at locking opponents down with a wide range of projectile options before getting in and balling on his opponents with his flashy combos. While his movement speed normally isn't the best in the air or on the ground, he still has plenty of options to work his way into his ideal range where he's most powerful. Gerald can keep the pressure on his opponents with one of the widest array of special move options in the game. Starting with his down special, Gerald pulls up a menu that lets you pick from a handful of different items for different situations. Shoot some free throws with the basketball. Send your opponent's head spinning with a frisbee. Give them a taste of their own medicine by reflecting the projectiles with a ping pong paddle. Or dig into his backup reserve of wacko watches for a nasty surprise. Gerald only gets a limited number of these watches per stock, but they're long range, fast, and very strong. In case you thought we were done, don't forget about slime specials. If you hit the slime button before pressing down special, Gerald will lob out a boombox that does some major knockback. For his neutral special, Gerald rears up a baseball pitch that throws harder the longer he spins his arm. The windup can be cancelled with the block button to store the charge, and the slime version of this attack is always thrown at full speed. Now if your arm is getting tired from all that winding, tossing, and swinging, mix up your movement as well by hopping on Gerald's skateboard with his side special. Pressing the special button will give a different attack depending on what direction is being held on the control stick. Up knocks enemies into the air above him. Neutral pops Gerald himself into the air for follow-up if the board hits the opponent. Horizontal has high knockback, and down does a spin out, allowing for some solid block pressure. With slime, Gerald quickly dashes forward while doing the spin out. Gerald can jump around on the skateboard and even cancel into one of his aerials for a quick approach. Keep in mind though, besides his sweet tricks, Gerald's options are limited on the skateboard. He can't block, roll, use any of his regular special attacks, or even his grounded attacks, so be careful, especially without a helmet. Finally, Gerald's up special is a super high leap into the air that ends with a slam dunk. Using slime simply carries Gerald and any enemies who get caught in the move higher into the sky. This move is a great way to finish out or even extend combos with a slime cancel followed by a drag down with his light up air. If you like clever projectile play or just want to dunk on your opponent, then Gerald is your guy. Thanks for watching, and look out for more character spotlights coming soon.
Every year, the ghost bride rises, looking for her victims.
Lucy Loud jumps back into the competition in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 with frightening new abilities and a revamped design. While she still has a few of her old tricks like teleportation, which gives her some startling mobility, Lucy also has plenty of new grim and ghastly techniques to use on the battlefield. Lucy's most defining aspect as a fighter is her ability to harness the power of the occult to enhance her own abilities. Her down special cycles between her normal, ghost, and vampire forms. While the ghost form is a whole lot lighter, and is generally worse at finishing off stocks compared to her other forms, it is much more mobile. On the other hand, if you don't mind the slower movement speed, Lucy's vampire mode hits like a truck. This form is also a bit lighter than her normal form, but not quite as light as her ghost form. Lucy will always change forms in a set cycle. Normal, then ghost, then vampire. But if you double tap the special button, you'll swap back to your previous form. There's quite a few other differences to go over between these forms, so in case you get lost, just remember, Ghost is fast, Vampire is slow and strong, and plain old Lucy is an all-arounder that's also a bit heavier than the other forms. Dark Bite, Lucy's neutral special, is a quick chomp that temporarily hinders her opponents while providing a bonus to herself. In her base form, Lucy steals her victim's slime and gains increased damage output. Ghost Lucy gains a movement speed and slows down her opponent, while Vampire Lucy hits even harder and inflicts poison. Chomp! Next up, Jump Scare. Lucy's side special is a teleport that can go through enemy attacks with proper timing. This move is obviously a great way to catch opponents by surprise. In her normal form, Jump Scare hits opponents when Lucy disappears and reappears. This, however, is not the case for her ghost form. To compensate for the lack of damage, Ghost Jump Scare starts and finishes faster, which makes it a better tool for continuing combos, moving around, or applying some unpredictable pressure with whatever follow-up you want. In Vampire mode, Jump Scare only hits opponents at the end, but this hit is way stronger. Lastly, Lucy's up special. Without one of her special forms, Lucy is lifted into the air by her pet bat Fangs, who also provides some protection from above. The vampire version of this move quickly thrusts Lucy higher with a flap from her newly found wings, while the ghost version is a short boost that can be interrupted with any attack of her choice. Really, it's best to think of the ghost version of her up special as a triple jump. With all these extra moves and special properties to keep track of, Lucy is definitely a difficult yet worthwhile character to explore. Being able to pick and choose your weaknesses and strengths can really pay off if you know when's the right time to use her different forms. And once you put it all together, Lucy Loud truly becomes an opponent you should fear. Phase in and out of the battle with Ghost Lucy to deliver some spectacular combos. Send opponents flying into the night with Vampire mode, or just play it safe with her normal form. However you want to play is ultimately up to you. If you enjoy celebrating this spooky season year-round, or just love the Loud House, then try learning Lucy in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Thanks for watching, and watch out for more character spotlights coming soon.
The crime-fighting teenage robot XJ9, aka Jennifer Wakeman, aka Jenny, is back and ready to throw down in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Returning to the brawl with some new high-tech tools and a shiny coat of paint, Jenny excels at creating openings with strong projectiles that she can use to provide cover for herself or catch opponents off guard. While her combo game isn't as strong as some others, Jenny can always keep up the pressure even from afar, and thanks to her fantastic recovery and heavy weight, she has no problem jumping straight back into the fray after getting knocked away. Back on the subject of Jenny's projectiles, the new slime mechanic provides an extra upgrade to her returning neutral special, Rocket Power. While the normal version of this rocket can still be aimed in any direction at any time, the new slime version also allows for 2 rockets to be out at once. Jenny can use this powerful, flexible tool to find clever openings, extend combos, or even save herself from some dangerous situations. If you hold down the special button after firing a rocket, Jenny will stand still while you try to hone in on your target. If your opponent isn't giving you enough time or space to set up your rocket, make some space with Jenny's new side special, Mass Hammer. This big ol' hammer swing sends shockwaves flying through the air or rumbling along the ground, which can help her find some breathing room. Just be careful not to be too predictable with how you use this move, or else you might risk having your projectiles reflected right back at her. Don't want to get too close, but still need a way to rack up some extra damage? Jenny's down special, Explosive Lasers, remains a solid way of doing so. If you're not able to land big combos or otherwise find a way to open up your opponent's defense, it's nice to have a little bit of consistent damage output as a way to keep up the pressure. Finally, for the last of Jenny's specials, her up special, Robot Wings, allows her to fly around wherever she wants. Jenny can be pretty hard to swat out of the air when she activates this move thanks to its maneuverability. But watch out, she doesn't get any fuel back until she touches the stage, so try to use her other specials, Air Strongs, or even her light up air to glide back to the stage when possible. A few of Jenny's other old moves and techniques are here to stay, including her charged forward air, which is a slow yet incredibly powerful finisher, Angry Stomp and Mighty Mallets. Her light and charged down attacks also both make their return and can be looped repeatedly by pressing the attack button. Her jab, however, has a new property. The final hit can be angled with the control stick, meaning she can either choose to launch opponents flying a bit farther, higher, or even tumbling downwards. Jenny tends to feel the most vulnerable when she isn't quite close enough to utilize her short yet fast and effective light attacks, nor far enough to safely set up her projectiles. However, she can still surprise opponents at the mid-range by holding down the grab button for some extra reach. This version of her grab is a bit slower and is far more punishable if it misses, so don't use that as a full replacement for her regular grab. All in all, Jenny is a well-rounded defensive character that has all the tools you'll need to succeed in a world full of villains and aliens. If that sounds like your kind of style, give her a try in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Thanks for watching, and look forward to more character spotlights coming soon. Hold on to your diapers because the mighty green dinosaur, Reptar, is here to squash the competition in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Reptar comes equipped with scorching fiery breath, incredibly powerful attacks, brutal chomps, and of course, ice skates. Reptar excels at striking fear into his opponents just from his sheer strength and size, which he needs considering his low speed. While many of Reptar's attacks also tend to be a little bit slower to come out with a little bit more recovery time, they're made safer by just how hard they push opponents away if blocked. With that in mind, if you find yourself cowering in the corner against Reptar, you might also find yourself teetering on the edge of defeat. Several of Reptar's moves draw from his unique flame meter, including his ferocious grounded and aerial upcharge attacks and a few of his special moves. Dealing damage with his other attacks will build that meter right back up, so as long as you let Reptar take a breather every now and then, you shouldn't have to worry about running out. Let's jump straight into Reptar's special attacks. His down special, Flame Breath, might look a bit familiar from Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 1. While the special button is held, Reptar becomes immune to knockback, allowing you to essentially counterattack and open your opponent up for combos with a spread of fire across the floor. While in the air, this move changes into a diagonal fireball that knocks opponents away. His neutral special is just like his aerial down special, except it only goes horizontal. These fireballs are pretty big, which helps out a lot with finding control over the stage, guarding the ledge, or hitting people from afar. Reptar's up special, Jurassic Slam, leaps high into the air before falling back down to crush any enemies underneath him. You can also make Reptar fall sooner if you press down on the control stick. Finally, Hungry as a Dinosaur, his side special is a command grab. Reptar lurches forward and tries to swallow his opponent's whole before spitting them back out. The direction Reptar spits his opponent is decided by which direction the control stick is being held after a brief pause. Left, right, or even downwards. The downwards version of this attack can be an especially frightening way to knock out your opponents or combo them on stage. Reptar definitely doesn't move or attack quite as fast as some other members of the cast, but if you know just how, when, and where to hit your opponents ahead of time, you won't be missing out on much anyways. Thanks to his fiery attacks and the extra range granted by his tail, Reptar is also able to hit opponents from a pretty solid distance before committing to one of those hard-hitting finishers. If you're one of many Reptar fans around the world, or if you want to know what it's like to be him, then give him a try in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. As always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more character spotlights coming soon. The heirs to the Fire Nation's throne, Azula, is ready to rule the competition in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Azula is a fierce, fiery, fast-paced glass cannon with an explosive combo game. With top-tier speed, powerful firebending expertise, and elegant martial arts techniques, Azula is well suited for an aggressive yet calculated playstyle. Most of Azula's attacks are quick, fearsome strikes that glow with her iconic blue fire. Several of her attacks have stronger knockback near the tip where the fire is, and you'll know for sure that you've spaced them properly when you hear these satisfying sounds. While Azula's speed and agility are of course great for building an offensive game plan, it helps to have some projectiles to lob out if you need to create some space between you and your opponent, or if you just need to slow down the tempo. Her neutral special shoots out a fireball that travels straight ahead if she's on the ground, or diagonally if used in the air. This is a fantastic tool to have that's perfect for all sorts of situations, from controlling space, to playing defensively, or even guarding the ledge. The grounded slime version is especially strong and fantastic for catching opponents off guard. The aerial version shoots 3 fireballs, and while they're not each nearly as strong as the grounded slime version, they cover tons of space, and since they move so slowly, Azula can easily follow up on the openings they create. Her up special, Fire Thrusters, is pretty slow and also pretty vulnerable, but that doesn't stop you from being able to use it offensively by chasing opponents into the sky should you choose to use the slime version or slide and cancel it. Her side special, Burning Lunge, is a flaming kick with some high power near the beginning of the attack. In the air, you can choose to angle the move downwards to spike your opponent, or to attempt to land and get back to the stage safely. Finally, Azula's down special channels a powerful bolt of lightning that's sure to send opponents flying if you're able to land it. With Slime, the attack charges twice as fast, but it doesn't hit as hard. Something to keep in mind about Azula is that all the power in the world is still not enough to make up for a weak recovery and lightweight. But as long as you don't get hit, you shouldn't have to worry. She has plenty of powerful tools at her disposal to exert her will and control the match. And once she finds an opening, you can expect some big damage. Slime canceling and smart use of her special attacks are where you can really make the most of Azula's toolset. She almost always has at least one answer for any opportunity. You just have to be ready to recognize the best answer and capitalize on those opportunities when they arise. If you think you have the cunning and wits to take hold of Azula's abilities, or if you just want a taste of her awesome power, be sure to give her a try in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Now that you've seen all of our newcomers, who are you most excited to play? Look forward to seeing the rest of our character spotlights coming soon, and get ready to join the fight on November 3rd when the game releases.
Hey everyone, my name is Choctopus, and I'm here to remind you that Laundry Day is a very dangerous day. And also to present none other than the wacky wallaby himself, Rocco, who's back with a familiar, yet modern design in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Rocco typically tends to strive for a mostly peaceful existence alongside his companion, Spunky, packing whatever tools, knickknacks, and valuables he can find before being rushed out the door. Rocco is ready for action as a scrappy little brawler with plenty of surprises. Since we've already introduced him, let's talk about Spunky, who can be called out with Rocco's neutral special to chase after his opponents. As long as Spunky's on the ground, he'll run in a straight line until he gets close enough to pounce on his target. If he misses his mark, or gets called in the wrong direction, fear not. Pressing the special button again, or giving him a little encouragement with one of Rocco's attacks will turn him around on command. Spunky won't lunge after opponents if he's in the air, but he can be picked up and thrown to hit them. With all the help that Spunky provides, be sure to take good care of him. If he gets hit or thrown by an opponent, he'll get a bit dizzy before eventually returning to Rocco. If you'd like to introduce a little bit of chaos into the fray, Rocco can pull out a jackhammer with his down special. The jackhammer will knock opponents around as it travels in random directions, but if you need some consistency, the slime version of this move will stay traveling forwards. And as an added bonus, if Spunky gets close enough to the jackhammer, he'll throw on his hard hat, get to work, and cause it to move even faster. Next up, Rocco's side special is the most helporific household device on Earth, the Suck-O-Matic. When activated, Rocco will ride the Suck-O-Matic into battle, pulling in and throwing out any enemies, or dogs, that happen to be in its way. While it won't do your taxes, or cook for you, it can be used to get back to stage if you get knocked away. The slime version of this move is slower, but a bit stronger, and its enhanced sucking strength can even pull enemies in from a distance. Finally, Rocco's up special, the Conglommo Rocket, shoots high into the sky before adjusting its trajectory back into the ground. This move allows Rocco to go deep off stage while he bonks opponents over the head with his light down air. In case you thought you were done, Rocco still has a few more surprises to offer besides his special attacks. Passed down for generations, his grounded, charged up attack is his family's trusty pogo stick. This move can be used to meet opponents way high up in the air as a finisher, or to continue combos with the slime cancel. Though more simply, you could also just fall onto your opponent's heads and send them flying. His aerial charge down attack drops a bowling ball on enemies' heads, which definitely makes it a great move for hitting enemies that are hanging out way down under. That's an Australia joke for you. As a stubby little wallaby, Rocco definitely has some short range compared to other fighters, but once you find an opening, possibly by clever use of Spunky and his jackhammer, Rocco can certainly spring into action with an altogether strong combo game and versatile toolset. If you like the look of what Rocco has to offer, then try him out in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned as we wrap up our character spotlights.
Hello everyone, my name is Tafar, and today we'll be talking about the notorious Urkin Invader sent once again to destroy the competition in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, Invader Zim. This little green guy with big plans always seems to come up short in his ambitions to conquer the planet on behalf of the Urkin Armada. Zim uses a wide array of advanced alien gadgetry to protect his tiny, fragile body and to snatch victory from the claws of those filthy humans, and animals, and other animal people. While he is incredibly small and light for an Urkin Invader, if your enemies can never catch you from behind your minions who do your every bidding, explosive grenades, and a gigantic doom laser, what does that even matter anyways? One particular item from Zim's collection of devastating tools of destruction, and his most loyal minion of all, is his state-of-the-art, not-so-standard issue, Information Retrieval Unit, GUR. GUR can be called out with Zim's side special, and while the button is held, GUR will jet forward. While he's out and active, GUR can be controlled at any time, even while Zim himself is being grabbed or hit. He can walk and jump, he has his own light and charge attack, he can swallow opponents with grab before blowing up, and he'll even copy Zim's neutral special, Pew Pew. GUR is definitely a tricky little robot to play with, but if you figure out how to put him to work, he can be an incredibly valuable asset to your plans for world domination. As was just mentioned, Pew Pew is Zim's neutral special. This move is a diagonally pointed laser that can be shot in the air or while on the ground. The laser itself has just a little bit of knockback, which can make it a wonderfully versatile tool for poking opponents from afar or maintaining some offensive pressure. Zim's up special has two variants depending on if Gur is ready for deployment, which you can tell based on the icon next to Zim's profile. When Gur is available, Zim can point his up special in any direction and charge it for slightly more distance and speed. Watch out though, if Gur is still active on stage or if he's just recently been destroyed, you should probably be careful. Without Gur and his rocket boosters, Zim's up special becomes only a very short, very vulnerable hop. And at that point, you'll probably need to do a slime dash for some extra distance. Last but not least is Zim's down special, Explosion. Explosion. It's a slow explosion. This move places a devastating explosive device into Zim's hands. The longer the special button is held, the bigger and slower the explosion will become. When you use the slime version, the explosion starts out with about half of its maximum charge. Zim certainly does not come alone on his quest for victory. Besides Gur, Minimoose and his Guardian Gnomes also join the fray. Minimoose is Zim's charged down air. When called into action, Minimoose smites enemies beneath him with a bolt of lightning. The Guardian Gnome is Zim's grounded charge down attack. When thrown out, the gnome slides forward and pops out a few lasers. The longer these attacks are charged, the longer they stay out, and of course, the more powerful their effects. Playing keep away with the explosive grenades and lasers while also letting your minions do the work for you is an effective strategy with Zim. But don't let all that authority get to your head. With his lightweight and brutally weak recovery when Gur is unavailable, you'll quickly learn what happens when you let yourself get careless. Nonetheless, Zim is still, in fact, a mighty Urkin invader who has incredibly powerful tools with which to plot your victory. So with the right plan and proper execution, nothing can stand in your way. Are you worthy of joining the ranks of the Urkin Elite? Find out by playing Zim in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, coming very soon. Let us know who you're most excited to play, and as always, thank you for watching. Making her return appearance, Avatar Korra is back and ready for action in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Korra, like her Avatar predecessor, Aang, is capable of bending and harnessing all four elements: Earth, Fire, Air, and Water. But unlike Aang, Korra is much more focused on hitting hard and overwhelming her opponent's defenses. With fire thrusters that allow her to quickly close the gap and a metal bending whip that can pull opponents in, Korra has plenty of ways to force an opening and lay down some damage. Every single one of Korra's moves is associated with a different element, and depending on which element was last used, her light neutral air attack changes to match. Earth hits harder, water has greater reach, fire hits multiple times, and air gives her a vertical boost if used while rising. With that, let's dive straight into her special moves so that you can learn a little bit more about which moves are associated with which elements. Like mentioned before, Korra is geared towards an in-your-face fighting style, and what better way to do that than to fly straight at him at blazing high speed with her side special, Burning Tackle. This move can be interrupted with a jump or any one of her other attacks. On the ground, Korra takes off at max speed, which makes it an incredible gap closer. In the air, Korra takes a little bit of time to accelerate, but it's still very helpful for getting back to the stage if you get knocked away. If you need an even quicker boost of speed, the slime version of this attack will do the trick, but keep in mind that it doesn't go nearly as far as the regular versions. Korra's down special is a metal bending whip with some huge range. If you're able to hit opponents at the end of the whip, they'll get pulled in straight towards Korra, leaving them wide open for whatever attack you feel like using. Next up, her neutral special. Korra freezes the ground in front of her, which causes both her and her opponents to slide around whenever they stand on it. If this move is instead used while in the air, Korra will send a quick, small orb of water flying forward and knock her enemies away. If you're getting a little bit too predictable with how you approach, it's always nice to mix up the tempo by throwing out a projectile. The slime version of this move is a fantastic option at the ledge. Korra scoops up any opponents in front of her and sends them crashing down like a waterfall. Lastly, Korra's up special is yet another 2-in-1 special move. In the air, Korra gets a small upwards lift from a gust of wind before tumbling back to the ground. If used while she's already on the ground, she instead gets launched into the sky from a column of stone that erupts from beneath her feet and can follow up however she likes. You can use this move to threaten opponents from above, or to chase them high into the air to extend your combos. Korra has plenty of interesting tools outside of her special attacks as well for you to explore. But just for the sake of example, her aerial and grounded light up attacks kick a gust of air upwards that you can use to juggle opponents, and the grounded version even keeps her airborne for a follow-up. Her charged up air pops a rock up from the stage below her that she can kick back downwards for some tricky set play, and her charged down air allows her to drift around and maintain pressure from some surprising angles when combined with the rest of her mobility options. Do you have what it takes to learn and master all 4 elements? Find out by playing Korra in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. As always, thank you for watching, and don't forget to join the brawl when the game releases.